Hey, this is Aaron.
I'm Tino.
And I'm Austin, and we are Mice Men'S.
Absolutely amazing. Such a great show. So awesome to be back in New York and seeing our fans really coming out and supporting us. This is a city we've played for many years as of Mice and Men on support tours and this and that, and even on our headlining tours, but none of them really is as amazing as headlining Best Buy Theater in Times Square, sold out. Crazy. It was just phenomenal. Our fans were out there in droves, and they were so excited to see us, just as we were to see them, and it was a very reciprocating feeling and very amazing for us to be out here. You know, we're from California. This is foreign territory almost for us.
It's crazy. You know, we feel like, we talk about it all the time, you know, for us, we haven't really changed anything that we've been doing. You know, we've been consistently touring. We've been putting emphasis on making sure that our live shows are great. You know, we've been putting in the work when it comes to like meeting our fans, making sure that we are, you know, staying, you know, relevant to them and to everything else. So for us, it's kind of, it's almost like validating, you know, because we haven't really changed much up, but it's been a consistent growth. So it feels good. It makes us feel like what we're doing has purpose and that we are actually on the right path.
And you get to see the fruits of our labor, and you get to see that all that hard work that we've done, and you know, the hard work that we did 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, and all the groundwork that we put in. You know, it's just now paying off, and we're just now seeing fruits of our labor, and it's nice to see that. And it's nice to see, okay, that's what that hard work was for, and that's what this is coming from. And you know, even from the record, from Restoring Force to the re-release, Full Circle, it's just cool to see how our fan base has grown and the shows have grown, and you know, people really like the album. It's sold 200,000 copies already, and it came out, and it's such a great thing for a band like us. And you know, as you were talking about earlier with rock music, and the naysayers need to see what's actually going on. They do. I mean, and because rock is alive and well, and you know, we're playing in front of 2,000, 3,000 people a night, and you know, playing all the radio festivals and the Beale Street Music Festival we did. We were the heaviest band there. There's only 2 rock bands, and it's a good thing. It's nice to be able to go into those worlds and go in there and be like, look, yeah, we're a rock band, and here we are keeping up with all of you, slaying it. Our album speaks for itself. I mean, its first week, it was number 4 on the Billboard Top 200 during Grammy week. So it's, you know, Imagine Dragons, Katy Perry, Beyonce, and Katie Musgraves, whatever, and us. And, you know, in that whole list, we were the only rock band like that was on the list, and the only group that wasn't even at the Grammys or nominated for a Grammy. So it's so cool to see where this band is going, especially just from writing the music, and it just opens up more doors for us to keep continuing to do the same thing. We'll tour with Linkin Park again.
Yeah, I mean, the Hunting Party tour won't be rescheduled. It was refunded, and you know, they've moved past that. But you know, we just saw them in Rock in Rio. Both AC and I joined them on stage. You know, like that friendship and that bond that our 2 bands have made, you know, from that first tour, and just from, you know, like you said, they are also a huge champion of rock music, and they're one of the biggest rock bands out. And you know, they called their record the Hunting Party because they're hunting rock and roll and bringing it back. You know, so like, you know, it will happen, but I don't know that it will happen. I don't know when it'll happen, but I know it will happen. I'm sure. We finished Restoring Force, and I feel like with all records, the last week is always the most hectic, where it's like, are we even going to finish this? Is this going to be done? You know, and then it's always that day after when you breathe the sigh of relief, but you go, man, there was so much we could have done or didn't do, you know, and then we toured on it for a year. You know, we played in South America, we played in Australia, we played in Europe, and, you know, North America. So we got to kind of come back to it, and we had some time and the available resources. So we said, you know, let's kind of, the stuff that we feel like maybe we forgot, or not necessarily forget, but, you know, we wanted to just complete it, you know, bring the album full circle. So we got the opportunity to do those 3 songs, and they're all 3 like newly written songs, and we got to really take, you know, what we learned from touring, what works with the crowd, maybe what necessarily doesn't work so much. And we feel like, you know, we came out with 3 really good songs that really almost kind of complete the record. When you listen to it all the way through, it seems, you know, at least to us, it feels like that chapter's closed now. So as much as it was for our fans, I think it was for us too.
We just said put them out, which there
If
are
it was up to
songs
us,
we want
they'd
them
all
to
be
play.
on the radio
Yeah,
right
we
now.
don't care. That's not part. You know, we've never been that band, and we've never concerned ourselves about making sure we had that or not. And you know, we won't now in the future. You know, we write our songs with the purpose of going on the album and playing live, and if they work for radio stuff and whichever ones are better or not, then so be it. But that's why it's great for us, because we're finally at the point where we have that problem of which song should we put as a single, which song should we release as a whatever, you know, because 4 years ago, 5 years ago, it was like, all right, we got 3 songs, we know exactly which one's the best. And then, you know, and now we have a lot of songs to choose from. It's like choosing a set. It's so hard because we're like, the guys, what do you want to, what 2 songs do you want to cut tonight? What 2 songs do you want to add? I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know, like, you know, the set, and the set's great because we get to play so much, and I think that's really important for us, and it's music, and we're always constantly making more, so we're really excited to get back to doing it more, and also letting people still delve into Restoring Force full circle, because we know there's a lot of people that haven't heard it yet.
We've been working on demos and stuff. I feel like it's, you know, I call it the 2 parts of any musician. There's the creative side, the writing side, and then there's the performer side, the entertainer side. And it's very hard, at least for me, I feel like for all of us, it's really hard to kind of be both, you know. So when we're out here, we're performers, we're entertainers. But, you know, we have the whole summer off that we're going to spend writing and really dive back into that, because that's when the 5 of us work best together, is when we're all in the creative mindset instead of the performer mindset. So we've been working on demos and ideas, but I think the majority of the legwork will be done this summer, which will be awesome.
You know, it could have different ways. I mean, sometimes it'll start with Aaron or Alan, you know, with the whole song on guitar, or a part, or a verse, or a melody, and sometimes Tino will even do the same thing. Sometimes Aaron will start with a vocal idea on an acoustic, or I'll have a vocal idea on something, or, you know, you can always take things that you've written down and you have 2 sentences and they fit in those measures, or you can do it the other way around and you write around the vocals. And it's cool to me because we all write such different ways, and there's a few ways that work, and that's what's cool, is writing together in a room. Like, that's how we did our first few albums, and it worked. And then doing the separate and then both, and we got to do both for Restoring Force, and I'm actually kind of really looking forward to doing that again with the next record, and writing, and just to see what comes out from jamming, and then see what comes out from, okay, everybody's working on something separate. And it's fun, you know, music, to see what can come from who when, because you never really know. South America, we went to South America. It was incredible, you know, Chile and Argentina, and we went to Santiago and Chile, or Brazil, and it was just beautiful. It's a country we've never been to, and up until 6 years ago when this band started, I've never even left the country. I've never even been to Canada. And so to get to go overseas, you know, countless times since, to play music all over is such a blessing. And, you know, we got to, with Restoring Force, we got to go to South America, Europe, North America. We got to tour all over.
I would have to be Brixton. We headlined Brixton Academy to 5,000 people in London, which is mind-blowing. When you're headlining to that many people in a foreign country, like, you know, like Tino said, we're from California. To go as far as New York is crazy. Then to go overseas is crazy. And then to play for 5,000 people is crazy.
5,000 of our fans.
Yeah, 5,000.
Our headlining show.
How do we even have that many out there? It's
awesome. One night of not sleeping on a bunk in a bus. One night of curled in your lover's arms. I don't know.
It takes me usually a couple days
to bed, and it's great.
Just to kind of like reassess my situation, from being in a moving bus to moving into the venues every day to going and running my errands before sound check and stuff like that. Then you get home and it's like, what do I do now? I don't have anything to do right now. This is nice. And it takes a couple days of that, I think, for me personally.
Yeah, it takes me like a week, a good solid week, you know, because you go from, like Tino said, doing things like moving into the venues and when sound check, and then you get home and it's like, okay, I got to go grocery shopping, and I got to check my mail, and I have to catch up on all of this stuff, and, you know, so it takes a few days to a week, a couple weeks if it's been a long one.
I think
they're all so awesome.
I think, yeah, our fans in general, we always talk about it. You know, we have meet and greets every day on this tour, and we get to work with a lot of cool, you know, foundations and companies, and get to meet a lot of really cool kids that are, you know, either have chronic illnesses or sick, or even if they're perfectly fine. And still getting to meet them and hear their stories, and from adults to mid-20-year-olds to teenagers, just from their stories of how the music has impacted them. And it's really cool, I think, to not so much be the band that does that, but to be a part of that. Like, it's cool to feel a part of a family myself, just because of our fans and the people that connect with our music, because I see them every day. They're out there at our shows every day. They're singing the words back, and you know, that means a lot to us. And so to have them coming out and to have their support and like hearing their stories every day, it's absolutely incredible. And it makes one of the reasons why we get to do this so rewarding, because we get to see actual lives being changed, and it's not bullshit, and it's so cool to see.
Yesterday, for some reason, the snare drum mic just would not work. That was a mild Spinal Tapian moment.
Oh, I had a really funny one on stage the other day for the first time ever that this has ever happened to me, where I somehow, in doing something, God knows what I was doing in the back on the drums, trying to overplay or do something crazy, and I threw my arms together and whacked them, and both my sticks shot out of my hand. And thankfully it was during a double kick part, so it looked like I just had thrown my hands up like, I don't know what to. And it was kind of funny because everyone in the band kind of turned around, and we were having such a great show and like such a good time on stage that everyone just turned around, and like we were all kind of laughing about it. And I was like, what do I do? And then I just obviously grabbed some sticks and started playing again. But it's kind of funny how we don't always take ourselves too seriously, and that's something that is really cool about our band, because when it comes to music, we definitely take ourselves very seriously and in all those ways, but at the same time, we're very lighthearted and fun with each other too. And when we see our fans having a good time, that allows us to have a good time as well. And the vibe on stage is something that we don't really have anywhere else. Not that we don't get along, like off stage, but when we're on stage, we're just like so in sync and so locked that when something like that happens, we can all just kind of like laugh and be like, we still mess up. We still have, little discrepancies and stuff that happens because we're human. And it's funny that we can appreciate that, and we never take ourselves too seriously. And it's just
anyone else.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun.
Yeah, I remember that. I was singing, and out of my peripheral, I see a stick.
It hit
just
me in
sticks,
the leg.
Yeah,
a stick flew out from the drum set, and it hit AC.
It hit me in the leg, and I just didn't do the
seriously,
one word, and the one word like made it so it was like, shh,
yeah,
like,
and then
so you could hear only Tino's mess up because I didn't do the vocals there too. So it was more like, there's Tino's part. Oh.
Yeah,
it was funny. I guess you had to be there.
Humans.
Funny. Yeah, not robots.
Yeah.
Alan messed up one of the easiest guitar leads on the record that he's played right 100 times because Mike Shinoda was watching one time on the Hunting Party tour, standing real close to him, kind of like giving him crap from the side of the stage.
They'd like make
Alan
faces at
goes,
us and stuff.
Alan
It's
goes,
so
looks at him, and then goes, "Wait!" in front of all those people, and there's only like 4 notes. Like you could definitely hear it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Hard Drive Online is brought to you in part by Napa Auto Parts. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. If you simply can't get enough Hard Drive, download the official Hard Drive radio app. You'll get exclusive interviews, performances, and RAN streams straight to your phone for free.
If you have ghosts, you have everything. You can say anything you want, and you can do everything you want to do. If you have ghosts, you have everything. One never does that. One never does that. You can call it surprise that it is.